everyone, Rossana here. In this video, I really want to have like a heart-to-heart with you guys about something that I didn't realize was like a thing and something that apparently moms are getting shamed for, and that is dun dun dun!
Piercing your infant's ears.
Oh my god, I know, right? So bad. I really felt the need to make this video based on things that I've seen kind of floating around social media and also my own semi-shaming experience. Hazel is almost 18 months old now, and she's had her ears pierced since she was 10 months old. And I didn't really think anything of it. But like, really? This is what we're shaming moms about? Moms who pierce their daughter's ears when they're a baby? So that's why I really want to make this video and just kind of share our experience with infant ear piercing and piercing Hazel's ears, and also share some things we learned throughout the process about things that you need to know when it comes to piercing your daughter's ears if that is the route you want to go. Also, mainly to talk about the whole controversy surrounding piercing a baby's ears and why it is so freaking silly to shame moms for every little thing that they do. Right? So before I go on, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and like this video if your baby's ears are pierced. So let me just stress again that I had no idea this was like a big thing, and apparently it is. But it just wasn't a big deal to me, and I think it's probably because I'm Asian. But upon doing a little more research about the topic, I have learned why it is so controversial. And so I'm going to talk about that now in case you didn't know. So there are a few issues, and a lot of them are valid. I really get it. But again, it's not about what is valid or invalid. It's about what each mom wants to do for their child, because that's their business. So the first and main issue is this whole idea of consent. They feel that it's not fair to your child to do something to their body without first asking them. Cool, I get that. But let me just remind you, I'm not getting sleeve tattoos for her. Another issue is, of course, health. People have had experiences where they pierce their kids' ears and then they get an infection and it's horrible. But you know what? When it comes to babies, everything is a risk. Is it not? Another issue that people have is that because your baby is still so small and squirmy, that when they get their ears pierced, they're gonna end up with crooked holes. That is why you have to take them to a professional and not some teenager at Claire's. But more on that later. I was semi-shamed, not full-on shamed, but it was something that kind of opened my eyes. When I decided that I seriously wanted to get Hazel's ears pierced, I wanted to ask a few local moms where I could go to get that done, because I really wasn't quite sure. I think my mom had taken me to like JCPenney or something like that. So I posted in a Facebook group where I basically asked, I want to get my baby's ears pierced. Where can I do that around here? For the most part, all the comments were really great. A lot of people said to go to your pediatrician's office to see if they do that, because some do. Some people said to go to Claire's, and a lot of people said don't go to Claire's for the love of God. And then most people said to go to a tattoo parlor, because that is where it is the safest and cleanest and best way to go. And then there was one mom. She basically said, I would let my daughter choose when she was 15 if she wanted to do that. Oh my God. For like a hot second there, I felt like a bad mom. I was like, oh my God, should I wait till Hazel's old enough to ask me to get her ears pierced? As I kind of dove into this topic a little more, I realized that a lot of people do think that way. That was basically like my ear piercing shaming experience. It wasn't a direct hit, but I kind of felt like, oh my gosh, like maybe I need to stop and think about how terrible of a mother I am. I got my ears pierced when I was a baby. Like I said, in the Asian culture, it like was not a big deal at all. So of course my mom was gonna get my ears pierced. You know what? I ain't mad at her. There's a lot that I can really appreciate about it. And this is all reasons why I wanted to get Hazel's ears pierced when she was a baby. Number one, I don't remember any of the pain, which is great. Thank you, Mom. Another thing is that my holes never close, like ever. And there was a time where I would go years without wearing earrings and they never closed up ever, probably because I hadn't done when I was so young. I didn't get any infection or anything like that, luckily. Even if I did, I would have gotten some like Tylenol or something, and then I would have been fine. My holes aren't crooked, but I can't say that with 100% certainty because for some reason I can't wear hoop earrings. I don't know if it's because maybe one of my ears is crooked, or maybe just my face isn't right. And another thing that I liked about it was that I was so cool in elementary school. Like when all of my other friends were wearing clip-on earrings, I was wearing real legit earrings. So for all of the reasons that I just shared why it was so awesome for me to have gotten my ears pierced, we decided we were going to get Hazel's ears pierced. Before doing so, I actually learned a lot about what you need to know and what you need to look for when it comes to piercing your baby's ears. The first thing is you want to make sure that they get their ears pierced with a hollow needle. You don't want to do the piercing gun because apparently a piercing gun just kind of is what it sounds like. It pierces the skin and creates like that hole. Whereas a hollow needle is a needle that's hollowed out so that when it pierces the ear, that little bit in the middle of that skin actually gets taken out, and that's where the earring will be. And it's just a better way for it to heal and for it to avoid infection. Apparently, this is what I learned. The best place to actually go to do that is not Claire's, where people like do not get trained and they're just given a piercing gun and like cotton swab and alcohol and like that's it. But to go to a trained professional, and the best place to go for that is usually a tattoo parlor, as weird as that sounded to me when I first heard it. You can ask to see if your pediatrician does it because apparently some pediatricians do offer that. But again, make sure that they have hollowed needle and not a piercing gun. So we ended up going to a local tattoo parlor where they charged $55 and they provided the earrings that she gets to walk away with. And I know what you're probably all thinking now, how bad was it? It was traumatic, I'm not gonna lie. She cried a lot, but she also gets like that when I cut her nails. So on a scale of like 1 to 10, 1 being like she was totally cool, 10 being like it was horrible, I'd give it a 50. Before we even got back to the car, she was totally fine and she hasn't said anything about it since. Luckily, there were no infections or issues or anything like that. They had a few options in terms of the earrings that we would get, and I actually opted for the ones that were flat in the back. I didn't even know that that was a thing, but I was kind of worried that the earrings would poke her while she was sleeping and I didn't want it to like bother her in any way. So the process of her getting it all on was a little longer because the guy did have to screw it in and she was crying and screaming and kicking around and squirming. FYI, in case you go with the flat back. But after a few months, we actually upgraded her to real diamond studs. Hashtag babies first bling. And they're the regular ones that do kind of stick out with the pushback thing. And they didn't bother her at all. Like she didn't even notice. Since getting her ears pierced, she's never fussed with them. She's never even touched them. I don't even know if she knows that she has earrings in her ears. So do I like ever worry that I like did the wrong thing, that I was a bad mom and that maybe I should have asked her when she was older if she wanted to get her ears pierced because maybe she doesn't want to? No. Also, having her ears pierced when she like didn't want them to be pierced at all should be like way low on the list of things that bother her when she's older. Like I'm hoping she'll be really worried about like getting good grades in school and not getting into drugs. Some people do say that they want their daughters to have that memory of their first ear piercing, and that's totally cute, adorable. I totally see the sentiment there. And you know what? Hazel can have a wonderful memory of her second ear piercing. But basically, you do you, mom. Like, if you want to get your daughter's ears pierced when she's a baby, do it. If you don't do it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and having this conversation with me. Leave a comment below and like this video if you pierced your daughter's ears or if you were thinking of it or if you didn't because you are you. Just subscribe and like the video, guys. Bye, thank you.